Hi, I'm Timothy Batten, and you're watching Welcome Home Doggy, where we talk about creating a better quality of life for all dogs. Joining us today is Dr. Michelle Tilghman, a pet acupuncture specialist. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We'll be there for you when you need a friend. We'll be there for you. We'll be there for you when you need a friend. We'll be there for you.
And we're back. Dr. Michelle, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. And where are you joining us from today?
Um, I am outside Atlanta, Georgia, in Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Wonderful. So, you are a pet acupuncture specialist, and I honestly, even I am a pet lover, I did not know that was a thing. So I'm very excited to hear all about all the ins and outs of being a pet acupuncture specialist and what that entails. So please don't let me keep talking. Jump right in.
Well, um, I'm Dr. Michelle Tillman. I am a veterinarian that has specialized in acupuncture for almost 40 years. And it has been practiced in this country ever since Nixon had that historic meeting with China, that veterinarians in America became very interested in it and actually brought people in to train. So I was very fortunate to be able to be on the ground floor right after I graduated from vet school to join courses to be able to learn how to do veterinarian acupuncture.
Now, I have a neighbor, and I literally mean neighbor, that literally just graduated from, I guess, human acupuncture school. And I believe it took her 18 months. Was that a comparable time to get qualified?
Well, there's a little difference because most states make sure that veterinarians are the only people that can do acupuncture on your pet. And that's for a variety of reasons, because so many things can be masked in different disease processes, and owners think that acupuncture will cure it. So you have to be very discerning and have very good diagnostics. So the way that we do just basic acupuncture courses is usually about 150 to 200 hours and quite a bit of hands-on and then internship before you can become certified. And once you're certified, then we build. You know, you become basic and then you build Chinese herbs, you build different types of acupuncture because there's different types of acupuncture practiced all over the world.
Sure. And that's on top of actually being a doctor in veterinary medicine. So you can't just willy-nilly go out and do acupuncture after doing those training. So you have to go all the way through veterinary school and then continue on with acupuncture.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. So
Okay.
you're talking 10 plus years plus practice.
Yeah.
So most veterinarian acupuncturists are very well trained.
Yes, I would say so, and also clearly very passionate because that's a lot. Yes, about to put into being caring for a pet and actually focusing on the medicine. Is acupuncture something you were always interested in, or did you just once they came along with that program and you were like, oh, well, I want to do that, or was that always something you've been interested in?
My family had always shown dogs. I was, as a young person, as most girls are, very enamored and a horse person. And through my dealings with animals, I knew there had to be other ways that we could treat them from my whole experiences through teenage years and into vet school. So when I saw that this was going to be offered, it was like, boom, this is for me. So I will say that always probably was there. I just didn't know what it was.
Well said. I totally understand that thought as well. So could we I would absolutely love to hear more because you talked about like being very good at diagnostics. So when you start diagnosing and going in and saying like yes, no, how do you discern like how to actually take on a client as an acupuncture client or patient? And what kind of things does it work for? What kind of things do where you're like, no, this is not I can try, but it's not going to. Could you let us know a little bit more about that? I think that's definitely what people want to hear about this.
So acupuncture can be adjunct to many, many of our different type of treatments, even to the point of using antibiotics and putting your antibiotics in an acupuncture point that will actually benefit that organ. So we can use it in many, many different ways. Now, things that, especially in geriatrics, is where my specialty is I have to be careful because things can be masked. So as an example, having a dog that comes in with severe back pain, my differential and my rule out list will include intervertebral disc disease, possibly kidney disease, maybe even cancer. So by doing good diagnostics, and usually that would include blood work, radiographs, possibly an ultrasound, to make sure I know what I have. Now, in looking at all those rule outs, the thing that acupuncture in my hands works very, very well with is for intervertebral disc disease, which people would see it as back pain. Many people have the smaller, shorter, long dogs, like dachshunds, which are already congenital dwarfs, and their discs aren't good anyways.
Right.
So we see quite a few that have a lot of back pain, and like I saw yesterday, a dog that actually had surgery for the disc, dachshund of course, and now is having a hard time still with his neurologics. So acupuncture can help with that. Acupuncture is great for pain, great for osteoarthritis, especially in older dogs. Cervical disc disease that we see quite a bit of, where they look like little turtle dogs like this, and they don't want to move their necks. But acupuncture also can help with kidney disease and can be an adjunct for many different things like ileus, which is where the intestines don't want to move. So acupuncture can help with motility of the gastric tract. Some of my paralysis patients, usually from intervertebral disc disease, have lost the use of their bladder and they are fecal control. Acupuncture can help possibly restore some of that function and keep these guys as mobile and be able to be, good in the house and that whole, sterility, clean for them. So many times with my patients, it is pain, function, and getting them back to full mobility.
Wonderful. So for those out there who may not know exactly what acupuncture is or even entails, could you tell us a little bit more, like what
Sure.
that actually is and what it looks like, what that process is, as far as like what a visit looks like and as well?
Okay, many times, a couple of things that people don't know about acupuncture is most acupuncture needles don't hurt. They're not like hypodermic needles. Hypodermic needles are made to be cutting and to deliver a drug into your body part. Think about the vaccine, okay? The COVID vaccine. Acupuncture needles are smaller, much more flexible. So when you place them in acupuncture points, the animals, unless they're very, very sensitive, do not react badly. Many times when I'm doing an acupuncture treatment, they actually fall asleep because it feels good. Acupuncture works on a couple different levels, and the more that we're knowing about how the brain works, we're going to understand acupuncture. So it works on a very local level, which will definitely help blood flow, will help the nervous function in that area, and help that whole area restore function better. Then it works on a segmental level into the spine. So it will work through the spine, up and down the different segments that you are working with. Then it works on the CNS. It will actually help with the different type of neurotransmitters that our body produces to make us feel better. So when you get an acupuncture treatment, you get a local effect, a segmental effect, and a central nervous system effect. And this is that effect that the dogs come in And the more we do them and they enjoy it, the more they fall asleep faster. So they come in and they're totally relaxed. An acupuncture treatment usually, and I'm going to use my bigger dogs for this, enables, we have big tables with mats and sheets and pillows.
Oh, wow.
So we actually put these guys up on like a sofa or our treatment table, put acupuncture needles in, and many times with the older dogs, I use an electric acupuncture machine that actually puts a microcurrent of a biphasic type of wave into those needles. And we know by research that that definitely decreases the pain fibers, helps reduce and increase the neurotransmitters, and helps keep that irritation and inflammation where those needles are and that E-stim going in. So think about a TENS unit on steroids. So this is, it's a really nice, relaxing way. We also acupuncture cats. I have acupunctured many, many different species.
Okay.
Is anything more difficult to do? Because I know I can't even give my cat medicine. It took 3 people to get my cat to a spot, and she's tiny, like she's like 3 pounds, and it took 3 of us to get to where we could put medicine in her mouth. So is that the typical one, like herding cats kind of situation where they're difficult?
Actually, kitties are not that difficult, and it's just knowing your kitties.
Okay.
And many times I will actually acupuncture a kitty in their carrier. We'll just take the top off the carrier. We'll be chilled, we'll be quiet. We may even use a little aromatherapy in the room. And then there are certain points that I use all the time for calming. So we'll start with calming points, and many times the kitties are like, oh, this feels good. And you're able to do it. It's a whole lot easier than giving them medicine.
No, this sounds good. I want to come out and pretend to be a pet for some acupuncture. I want a pillow and some aromatherapy.
You have to bark first.
I can do that. I can do that.
Do that? Okay.
Okay. So what are some of the myths that we want to dispel? Like some of the things, like I know a lot of typical American humans are like, you know, I think it's weird or anything like that. What kind of things we want to dispel as far as like acupuncture?
Acupuncture is even much older than our medicine. Actually, it goes back to about 3,000 to 5,000 years. They actually started acupuncturing horses during the first emperor. And many people know the first emperor because it's the terracotta warrior guy that made all the terracotta warriors.
There's the
So
connection.
we have charts of acupuncture points from back into those that far. A couple myths. It's not going to treat everything. It can be good to treat other things together. It's very good for pain.
Okay.
Most of the time, the other thing, people are so needle phobic that, oh my God, it's going to hurt. Actually, it's probably if I can acupuncture dogs and cats and assorted species, humans would be much easier.
That is one of the things I always thought. I was like, oh, this is going to hurt. Like they're jamming needles into my skin. Like, oh my gosh, like that looks awful. But you know, that's great to hear already.
Yeah, and depending upon where you're putting the acupuncture needles, they can be small needles for like around your hands or around the feet and like the different joints of the dog, and then not even an inch needle. These needles actually will bend. They'll bend, you know, sometimes they come out if a muscle is contracted, they'll be, you know, kind of bent. So it is very relaxing most of the time. And very therapeutic. So it is not that, you don't look like a porcupine, okay?
Okay. Okay. Well, that's just about our time for today. Is there anything that you want to leave us with as far as like specializing in acupuncture, the things that you want people to think about if they're wanting to bring their pet in or anything like that? Any kind of last minute thoughts that you want to share with us today?
There are many acupuncturists around the country. You can go to your, different websites to be able to find one for your animal. And if you, as we all have older guys and you want quality of life for them, this is something that I would definitely look at for your pet, because we can do so much with medicine, but you can only do so much. So this gives them quality of life. And to be able to have quality of life, enjoy them, love them is all we really can ask for.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Michelle, we want to thank you so much for giving us your time today. And I'm enlightened. There's a lot of things that I didn't know about acupuncture, even for pets or for humans. So I want to thank you so much, and thank you all out there for watching and tuning in and this week. And for more information about this episode and our guest, Dr. Michelle Tilghman, you can visit our website, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram, and like us on Facebook. I've been your host, Timothy Batten, and this has been Welcome Home Doggy.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.